Chapter 7. Keeping an appointment. Fame ran across the street and jumped into his own car. He started the engine and accelerated away from the pavement. The American car was turning into the main road that went out of the town and into the hills. Fame followed it. As long as they were in the town, Fame kept close to the American car. But when the two cars had left the town and were the hill road, the American car moved farther ahead. Fame could just read the car number, 6425. He wrote it with his finger on the dust of the window. Then after another minute, Fame could no longer see the American car, but he kept going. He was driving in the hills above Dana, looking down over the town and the lake. Fame knew the road well. He took it each time he came to Dana. The road to Don's hide had turned off this road a few miles ahead. Well, Zara had told him to go and see Don, and at least he would get help there. Don was a member of their gang. Fame drove on as fast as he could. He was just coming round a long left-hand bend when he saw a girl in a blue dress standing at the side of the road and waving at him. It was Zara. Fame put on the brakes and the car stopped. "Get in," he shouted. Zara got in. She looked pale and worried, and her right cheek was bleeding. "Are you all right?" said Fame. "Yes," said Zara. "But he's got the poem." "Don't worry," said Fame. "I've got a copy of the poem." "What happened?" "Well," said Zara, "as soon as you'd gone in to answer the phone, the bald-headed waiter came over to our table. I thought he was going to take my coffee cup, but he suddenly held me tightly and put his hand over my mouth. I tried to escape, but he was very strong and had a gun. In the car he took the poem from me, then he left me on the side of the road." "Well," said Fame, "I've got the car number, and he's got the poem," said Zara. "Don't worry," said Fame. "I've got a copy." "Oh, yes," said Zara. "I forgot." She looked at him. "Where are we going now?" "We're going to Don's," said Fame. "We're going to keep that appointment." Fame and Zara drove slowly up the road until they came to the turning to Don's hideout. The sun was now high in the sky, and the day was very hot. Fame turned the car into the narrow, dusty road. Then the road went down to a small valley and crossed a dried-up stream. 3 or 4 goats were trying to reach the few dusty leaves of an old white tree. Fame sounded his horn twice so that Don would know Fame had arrived. Then he turned in at an open. They were in a small yard. To the left was a long brown shed. To the right was a small flat roof house. Some chickens ran across the yard, and behind the shed, a fat man with a short black beard and a blue apron came out of the shed as Fame stopped the car. "Hello, Don," said Fame. "Hello, Fame," said Don, and seeing Zara, he added, "Hello, Zara." "Hello," said Zara. "We've got a lot to talk about, Don," said Fame. "Go in and sit down," said Don. "I'll follow." He spoke slowly and smiled. When he smiled, he showed a row of shining white teeth. Fame and Zara got out of the car and went into the house. Don drove the car into the shed. Inside the house, it was dark and cool. The shutters were closed, and there was a large wooden table in the middle of the room. There was a rocking chair in one corner and several stools. Zara sat down in the rocking chair, and Fame sat down on one of the stools.
Don came in from the yard and joined them. He gave Fame his car keys and he sat down on a stool. He took a cigar and a box of matches from his apron pocket. He put the cigar in his mouth, struck a match and lit the cigar. Well, he said, sending a cloud of smoke up to the ceiling. What's the news? Harker's dead, said Fame. Don nearly dropped his cigar. He opened his mouth to speak, but before he could speak, 2 cars came roaring into the yard. Some men dressed in black jumped out of the cars and ran towards the house. They were policemen. The leading man was not dressed in black. Fame recognized him. It was Inspector Roland.